first round against opponents who also progressed or carried through. So both of these teams start with a 1-1 record, with their other wins having come against teams that are now eliminated. It's the opening day of the second round of the 2015 FIBA Asia Championship here in Cheongsha. Korea, bronze medal winners at each of the last two tournaments, set to take on a Lebanon team making an impact on their return to the competition, having failed to qualify in 2013. Both locked at 1-1 in Group F of the second round. Analyst Paul O'Kennedy alongside me, Tim Long. What kind of contest are we in store for here today?
Well, I think we're in store for an intense contest. We saw in the earlier game between India and Palestine, it had just gone up a level, and the reality is that these teams potentially are just 6 games away from a medal. So now's the time to really start producing your best basketball. And these two teams, both unlucky not to be undefeated coming into this round. And you have a look at Lebanon. Their only loss was in double overtime after giving up a 15-point halftime lead to Qatar. There's been a lot to like. They've shot the 3-ball well at 42%. Perhaps one area of concern for them has been their playmakers, Wael Arachi and Jay Youngblood. Inexperienced at this level, very talented but inexperienced, and maybe that's an area Korea will try to exploit with their pressure defense. But they're a well-balanced team. Defense is important to them, and we'll talk a little bit later about just how much their defense stepped up in their final game against Kazakhstan in Group 1. You turn our attention to Korea. A win today for both teams. They got one foot in the quarterfinals. A loss, they're fighting for their lives from here on in, and for Korea, that's because they gave up a massive lead against China, and the host nation came back like a steam train and ran over the top of them. They've been missing key players, but I think they've been impressive, and they've been carried by Yang Dong-Guen, the experienced point guard. He's always been one of their best players. I think he's taken it to a new level in this tournament so far. He's averaging 21 points, almost 9 rebounds, 6 assists, and shooting 80% from the 3-point line. So we'll see if he can reproduce that today.
This intriguing game coming up, but first we'll pause for the national anthems, starting with Lebanon.
Please remain standing for the national anthem of Korea.
Korea started with a big win over Jordan, and then came the narrow defeat to China, having surrendered a 20-point advantage before recovering impressively with a 42-point win over Singapore. Lebanon started with a 5-point win over Chinese Taipei, then suffered that huge blow in game 2, losing in double overtime to Qatar, but showed their character to respond with a 36-point win over Kazakhstan. They'll be underdogs today, but they're the 3rd leading scorers in the competition, and Korea will have to make sure they keep up their pinpoint shooting that sees them the 2nd most accurate team in the tournament. There's the referees for today's contest from Kuwait, India and from Japan. Alongside me, our expert analyst Paulo Kennedy to guide you through the team rosters and the starting 5s here on game day 1 of the 2nd round.
And I'm really fascinated by this game because I think we have a team in Korea who love getting up and down the floor. They love shooting quick shots. They back their offensive ability. And Lebanon, who've traditionally been a half-court team, but this young team they've got here under a Serbian coach has a real aggressive mindset. So I'm interested to see how they find that balance today between speed and utilising their physicality inside. And we look at their roster. I mentioned Jay Youngblood, their naturalised player, a little earlier. He is experienced at this level, but that doesn't mean he hasn't been effective. In their last game against Kazakhstan, he had 30 points at 67%. He pulled in 8 boards. And that doesn't tell the full story because, as you'll see, defensively, he's a monster. He gets his hands in the passing lane all over the place. One person absent for them today is Ahmad Ibrahim, who's been very effective in the wing position. And that's going to mean John Abdul Noor, who we see starting at small forward, he's going to have to step up his offensive output. And probably Rodrigue Akul, he's going to have to step up his output on the wings. And he'll probably be reasonably comfortable doing that because last time in 2011, the last time these teams met, he scored 15 points on 6 or 7 shooting, so he's going to feel good coming into this game. We look at Korea, we talked about Young Dong-gun. I mean, he has been outstanding, but at some point, the defense is going to catch up with him. Teams are going to make adjustments, so some other guys have to step up. We see there Chu Sung-min. He's been averaging 17 points at 50% from long range. That's a high-quality performance there, so they're going to need him to keep shooting the ball well. But one player I think they really want to step up is their naturalised player. We see him there, number 22, Tae-Young Moon. He started the Korean League season. Before he came here, he played the first 5 games, averaging 18 points at 76% from 2-point range, 39% from 3-point range. He hasn't fired his best shot yet. Perhaps the day when Moon rises into the skies.
There have been plenty on these two rosters firing their best shots up. Two sides who shoot ever so well in the tournament so far. It may just come down to who shoots better from the 3-point line.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's an interesting one because Korea run their offense for 3-point shots. Lebanon, not so much. You know, they've got some good penetrators. Arakji and Youngblood are both very good at getting to the hole. They love running the high ball screen and then getting inside. And then it's the job of their shooters to punish the defense if it collapses. So 2 contrasting styles that so far have ended up in the same result out on the perimeter.
The 2 coaches just having their final words with the 2 sets of players. We've had the player introductions, we've been through the rosters and the starting 5s, and all that's left to do is to play the game. The first game in the 2nd round, but the results carrying through from the 1st round for each of these 2, and a 1-1 record apiece against teams that have made it through to this stage of the competition. This is the pivotal game for them. 3 wins is going to get you a place in the quarterfinals. 2 wins could do it. You certainly don't want to fall to 1 and 2 and have to come back from behind. We're already in China on the first day of the 2nd round of the 2015 FIBA Asia Championship. Myself, Tim Long, alongside analyst Paulo Kennedy, ready to talk you through the action in Chongqing. 2-time champions Korea making their 28th appearance in the competition. They've only failed to reach the podium on 3 occasions out of those 28, up against the Lebanon team looking to show their firepower again. 5 straight semi-final appearances from 2001 to 2009, 3 silver medals in the process. They can't be underestimated by Korea here. The 4th most successful team in the competition against the 6th most successful. It's Korea who'll look for the first points of this one and get them within the space of 13 seconds as one of the main players, Cho, gets in to score.
And outstanding offensive execution early on. A little rub screen out on the baseline. Cho curls to the basket, gets the easiest of layups.
Now Lebanon trying to respond here. Quick move by Haidar. Can't finish, grabs his own rebound, puts it up and puts it back in.
And that's one man we didn't mention in the preview, but he's been highly effective, both close to the basket like there and shooting the three-point shot.
One of the big scorers for Lebanon, 19 points per game. Korea off the mark from downtown, rebound grabbed by Balji. An opportunity for them to take their first lead. Handling the ball is Arakji. Now Balji on the perimeter, waiting for movement. It comes in the form of Abel Noor. He's going to pull up for the long two and drains it.
And we talked about John Abdel Noor needing to step up, and what a perfect start for him.
Yang has it knocked away, the turnover, and here come Lebanon on the charge. And going all the way to finish, impressively, is Jay Youngblood.
We mentioned his defensive abilities, getting his first deflection of the night, turning it into a steal and turning it into 2 points.
Korea have conceded 6 straight points now. Pass forced in towards Lee Sung-hyun and another steal. Youngblood comes away with it. There's the pass, lovely feed and a simple finish for Basil Balji, and Korea forced to call timeout less than 2 minutes in. It's an 8-0 Lebanon run.
And this is exactly how Lebanon started on opening night against Chinese Taipei. They surprised their opponents with their intensity, and they've done it again tonight.
Lebanon have come up with a couple of steals and they have scored 8 points in less than 2 minutes of this one. An 8-0 run after Korea scored the first points of the game. And Korea forced into calling the timeout. Lebanon 4 of 5 from the field. The defensive diligence of Jay Youngblood helping them to points on the fast break. And now the likes of Yang and Cho need to come up with some answers.
Well, in that first possession, it looked like things were going so well for Korea. It was perfect execution. Since then, a brace of turnovers. Let's see what they can do out of the timeout.
Yang Dong-gyen onto Moon Tae-young. Here is Cho over to the far side to Yang again. Gets it back and puts it up. The long two off the mark.
Excellent contest there from Arakji.
Arakji handling the ball over half court. Youngblood looking to move across and create some space. Arakji going to attack down the center behind the back. Opens up for the long two. They knock it down. Basil Balji, and they have started 5 of 6 from the field. Cho getting in towards the paint. There's the cut to the rim. Kim Jong-kyu stuffs it down.
Right on cue, a huge dunk, and that's what's needed when you're struggling in the half court. Get yourself an easy basket, and if it's a dunk, all the better, because all of a sudden the spirits lift.
That's a way to break a 10-0 run. Youngblood looking to drive down the center himself, gets contact and will go to the line for 2.
And we saw the offensive play at the other end from Kim Song-kyu, but right there we see his inexperience defending the pick and roll. You know, Youngblood was always going to be heading to his left hand, trying to get to the basket, and he was hinging on him going to the right-hand side, and he opened up Main Street for Youngblood.
And Youngblood hits the first of 2 from the line. 12 of 18 from the field, en route to that 30-point game on game day 3. Misses the second from the foul line here. Lee Sung-hyun hands it off to Cho. Cho harassed by Youngblood here. Shot clock down to 5. Draws the double team, tries the bounce pass, recovered on the baseline. Can they get a shot away here? No, another turnover. Abdel Noor finds Arakji. Bauji moves it on to Haidar. Haidar puts it up from mid-range. Only the second miss of the game for Lebanon.
No success there, but defensively we see Lebanon helping each other and covering. We're not seeing the same level of help at the other end.
Difficult shot won't go from under the rim from Yang. Korea limited to 4 points in 4 minutes. Arakji finds Youngblood, and it goes to Haidar. Haidar turning into trouble, getting the shot away and drawing the contact from Moon Tae-young.
Some really good execution of the ball screen. They force Korea to switch, and Young down low doesn't stand a chance guarding someone as big as Haidar.
Ali Haidar at the line, 19 points per game, 7.3 boards in round one. And this is the first. Key part of this team, played 32.5 minutes a game in the first round. Able to hit the second foul shot, the lead is at 8 points. Lee Sung-kyun. Now Moon Tae-young. Moved on by Cho, they'll put it up from the corner. No good for Lee Sung-kyun. They're trying to grab the offensive board and do. Cho strikes it from downtown and knocks it down.
And how about the hustle from Yang? We talk about him being the smallest man on the court. He flies in for the offense rebound, taps it back out. His team gets 3 points as a result.
The first three-pointer of the game brings Korea within 5. Pass was an ambitious one and a mismeasured one. Abdel Noor turns it over.
And on his first play with the ball screen, Abdel Noor pulled up for that pull-up jump shot. It was nothing but net. I'd like to see him go back to that, see if these smaller defenders can guard it.
Lebanon's first turnover of the game. Korea have had 3. Cho. Just over to the far side. They move it on quickly. Yang Dong-yen, Moon Tae-young getting into the lane. Mid-ranger is short, and they can't grab the offensive board this time. Arakji fouled by Cho Sung-min. Basket waved off.
And at the other end, a really good defensive possession by Haidar. He left his man to come and help as we see Arakji coming off the high ball screen where he's been so effective this tournament. He's a young player who went to the NBA Summer League. He's obviously got a lot of potential and he's really making some strides in this tournament.
Just 21 years of age, the number 7 for Lebanon. Youngblood on the ball, looking to drive into the lane, looking to find Arakji, and it's picked off. Korea come up with another turnover. Now, Moon Tae-young, and they are able to get the tip.
And that basket comes from some smart defense. That time, they were ready for Youngblood to penetrate to the left hand. They cut off the passing lanes, and the steal gets them out in the open court.
Arakji, difficult shot, but he forces it up and in.
That time going to the right. He's left-hand dominant, but he shows that he's got skills on the other side of the body as well.
Lebanon lead is 5. Arakji's first score of the game. Lee Sung-kyun, Moon Tae-young. Peels away for the open 3, off the mark, Yang Dong-yen. Final 4 minutes of the first. Youngblood. He's looking over the top for the entry pass, instead the bounce pass. One-on-one, he'll go to work will Basil Bauji, but can't finish over the top of Kim Jong-yu. And Korea can look to close the gap here with Cho Sung-min. Thought about the 3. He'll think again. Kim Jong-kyu. Moon Tae-young. Put up from the foul line, falling back with contact. No foul given.
Again, some outstanding defense from Haidar contesting that shot, but I think at the start of the game, the Lebanon defense was so intense. They're just starting to huff and puff a little bit. I think we'll see some substitutions in a couple of minutes.
Their lead has been as many as 8 points, now at 5. Korea coach Kim Dong-kwang doesn't look best pleased with his team starting this one. 9 points in 7 minutes. Lebanon trying to stretch their lead. Abdel Noor onto Arakji. They'll try from the outside, short. That was their first attempt from downtown in the game. Cho Sung-min, ball knocked away and out of bounds by Youngblood, still Korea ball.
And we saw that little play down the other end with Haydar flaring to the three-point line. That's been one of the staples of the Lebanon offense so far this tournament.
Moon Tae-young catching and then getting it knocked from behind. Picked off, though, by Yang. Always alive and alert, put up by Cho for 3. He can't hit. And it takes 3 of them to recover the offensive board, and then there's a foul on Kim Jong-kyu.
And Yang, he may not be a young man, but he plays with so much energy. I mean, perhaps one of his most memorable games was the semi-final in 2011 where he was injured, had a bad ankle injury. He came out and played. He nearly carried his team to an upset over China. So he's a guy who will do anything it takes for Korea to get a win.
Kim Jong-kyu taking a seat, having just picked up his second foul. We've talked about the importance of the three-point shot for Korea. Here in this game, they're 1 of 5 from three-point range to start.
And Lebanon just doing an outstanding job of getting a hand up on those shots and making them tough ones.
Arakji, final 2.5 minutes of the first. Arakji back out to the outside. Long three-pointer for Youngblood. Offensive board and put back in by Ali Haydar.
And again, Haydar, he's averaging 19 points, 7 boards, and he's a man on a mission so far tonight.
They'll try an outside shot again, Korea. Another miss. Offensive board this time, though. And they'll reset with a fresh 14 to work with. Nice pass that to release Yang. Will try and bank it in and can't hit.
And Yang's shooting stroke not on tonight like it has been earlier in the tournament.
The second most accurate shooting team in the competition. They've started 4 of 17 from the field. No problems for Lebanon, though. Basil Balji knocks down a 3, and the lead has grown to 12.
And Balji, he's been a nice surprise for Lebanon so far this tournament. His interior defense has been outstanding, but he can also sneak out and hit the jump shot as we saw there.
That's a nice move, cutting to the basket off the baseline from Lee Jong-kyun. A much needed 2 points for Korea. They'll try another 3 here, too long from Arakji. And Korea can come and look to make it back-to-back baskets to close the gap here with Cho. They back off and invite the three-point shot. Another miss from the outside, so 1 of 7 for Korea.
He almost had too long to think about that one, and it rimmed out.
Youngblood looking to attack aggressively, knocked away from behind by Lee Jong-kyun. Final minute of the first here. Lee Jong-kyun on the offensive end now, hands the ball off. Move back to Cho Sung-min. Lee Jong-hyun again into the low post to Lee Sung-kyun, who tries to muscle it up and in. Lebanon come away with it. And at pace 2 with Arakji. Sweet move from the 21-year-old.
A Goran Dragic-like move there from Arakji.
4 seconds differential between shot and game clock. Lebanon have opened up a 10-point lead at the end of this first quarter. Bounce pass in towards Lee Jong-kyun. And Korea have started to find it a little easier. They still trail by 8. Youngblood pulls up for the long 2. Nothing but net right at the buzzer at the end of a very impressive first quarter for Lebanon. They lead by 10. Their shooting has been superb, 10 of 17 from the field, and Korea with the second best accuracy in the competition up until this point, just 6 of 21.
And fascinating to see Lebanon use their starters for that entire first quarter.
Korea 13, Lebanon 23 at the end of 1.
Well, that's just the start Lebanon would want. You know, they pride themselves on being aggressive and disruptive on defense and creating easy baskets, and that's what got them this lead early on. Their half-court offense has struggled a little bit. They've hit a couple of shots, but it's been in the open court where they've looked really dangerous. And, you know, Korea are a fast team, but their transition defense hasn't been able to keep Youngblood and Arakchi off the rim.
Looking at some of the numbers from the first quarter in terms of scoring. Basil Bauji leads the way with 7 points. And they've got 5 from Youngblood, 5 from Haidar, who's also got 6 rebounds. Bauji getting into score there off the assist from Youngblood. Haidar has been impressive with those 5 points and 6 boards. Youngblood impressive on defense and on offense. And Korea have to find a response. 5 points for them from Cho, but they trail by 10.
And Korea shooting just 29% from the field. And the key for them is they've got to get some extra ball movement, because you see even on that dunk, there were 4 Lebanon players, defenders, inside the keyway. They've got to spread them out of the keyway and either take the driving lanes or if Lebanon sag in, take the three-point shot.
Youngblood has been right on the money in the first quarter. And Lebanon have been impressive. Start of the second quarter, Korea 13, Lebanon 23. And a chance to extend their lead with possession. Here is Youngblood. Screen set on the perimeter. Youngblood across to the far side, off the fingertips of Haidar, and a turnover to start the second quarter.
And that looked like a 2-3 zone there from Korea, just mixing things up. And I think, as I said earlier though, their half-court defense has been pretty solid. There are a couple of breakdowns early on. It's getting back in transition and making Lebanon play half-court that's most important.
Lee Jung-hyun in the game for Korea for the first time. Nice pass, and a foul, a hard foul from Haidar.
And a call from some of the Korean players for that to be unsportsmanlike. And we did see him bring the hands down on the way down. He goes and apologises. And it's sometimes tough when you're that guy in the air. You're trying to figure out where you're going to land.
Lee Sung-hyun at the line. 23-year-old centre, big scorer at the Under-19 World Championships 4 years ago with 15.8 points per game. He's had 8 points per game in 25 minutes a game so far here in round 1 across the 3 games. That's his first point so far here today, 0 of 4 from the field. Gets both from the line though.
And we talk about these two teams being the best three-point shooting teams in the tournament so far, but early in the second quarter, they're a combined 2 of 11.
Youngblood, lovely pass from him. Now get a second chance here as Abi Keres grabs his own rebound. Across to the far side to Youngblood, who's going to look to drive in towards the foul line. Puts it up, falling away, difficult shot won't go. Another offensive board for Abi Keres. Ackle. Haidar, long three. No good, another offensive rebound, this time for Ackle, and a fresh 14.
And this suits Lebanon. They want to wear down the Korean defense, take away that energy they usually use to explode out in transition.
Can they make the most of all these offensive boards? No, they can't. Korea eventually get the stop. Lee Jung-hyun looking to drive towards the paint. That's a lovely pass for Lee Jung-hyun, who stuffs it down.
And we talked about the rotation of Lebanon defensively in the first quarter. That time, 2 players forgot their defensive rotation, and Jay Youngblood turned straight to the bench and said, I need a rest. He's played the entire game so far.
That's another wonderful assist, this time releasing Abi Keres, who puts it in. The assist from Saud. Cho. Lead is still at 8 as Cho goes back to Yang. And he's swinging across to the far side to Lee. And a foul on Amir Saud.
No basket. Foul number 5. Amir Saud. Holding foul. Substitution for both teams.
And perhaps we're seeing the absence of Ahmad Ibrahim having a bit of an impact. It's messed with the rotations a little bit, and we see Youngblood having to play 12 straight minutes. Abdul Noor just had 2 minutes on the bench. He's straight back into the game. We'll see what sort of impact that has later on.
Youngblood plays the game in such an energetic manner. 5 points, 2 steals, 2 assists in his time on court so far, and Lebanon come away with the ball again here. If they can reel it in, they can. Plenty arriving, the cavalry on the charge, and Abi Karez puts it in. The lead back to 10. Korea looking to attack here with Lee Jung-hyun. They'll drive into the open lane. Strong, aggressive move from Lee Jung-hyun. Moved on by Akil. Saud. Chance to drive in now and finish strongly for Haidar, who's having a fine game.
And Ali Haidar has done it all. He's made jump shots, rebounds, he's blocked shots, and then a driving dunk. I didn't know he had that in his legs.
Tip back, and Korea just about able to grab it. They'll step back for the 3. Plenty of contact on the perimeter. Now Lebanon trying to shoot the 3 off the mark for Saud.
And at the moment, it seems like almost every transition opportunity is Lebanon's. Korea need to pick up their defense and get the tempo onto their terms.
Kim Tae-sul. Moon Tae-young puts it up. Can't hit. And the rebound grabbed by Abi Karez.
And that's a shot Moon has to hit. That's what he's in this team for. So far in the tournament, he's struggled.
Lebanon creating the better shots at the moment. The basket's in transition.
Nice pass.
Looking to get underneath here. Beautifully done. They should have put that one in. Lee Jung-hyun. That's a nice pass too. And Korea, for the first time in a long time, get an easy 2 with Lee Sung-hyun.
And Korea can't generate easy scores from their defense, but that time a blown opportunity on the layup creates one for them.
Akil to Abi Karez. Midway point of the second quarter. Haidar. Back to Abi Karez. 5 left to shoot. And the Koreans putting up a defensive wall. 3 of them surrounding Abi Karez. The foul is on Moon Tae-young.
And Abi Karez, he's hardly played in this tournament, but he's making the most of these minutes. He missed a wide open layup on his first touch, but since then he's bounced back. He's been very active at both ends.
2 points per game in 6.5 minutes per game in round 1. That's a lovely bounce pass, rejection from Lee Jung-hyun. Now they'll shoot the 3. It's off the mark and Korea reel it in.
And finally we see a little bit more life in the Korean defense. The block shot created the hustle, and then they almost forced the tough shot right at the end of the shot clock. There's Lee climbing into the skies to throw that one out.
The 21-year-old taking off. And Korea now trying to get back within 6. Maybe even 5 as they come forward. It's the long 2 for Lee Jung-hyun. Can't get the hop. Akil. Nice pass. There he is again, putting it in. Abi Karez has 6 points.
And we haven't seen Akil spend much time in the point guard role so far this tournament, but he looks right at home there today.
The Lebanon lead is back to 10. Drive towards the baseline by Moon Tae-young. Forced backwards. They'll take on the three. They will knock down the three. Lee Sung-hyun hits from downtown and just their second from three-point distance.
And so far, Lebanon have been gambling on Lee Sung-hyun missing that three-point shot. That's the first time that he's made them pay.
Korea 2 of 9 from the outside as a team now. Off the mark, but an offensive board, and then a foul.
Abby Keras missed the shot, but another pinpoint pass from Ackle. His timing on the ball screen is impeccable so far.
Haidar now has 7 points and 7 rebounds in the first half. 3 of them on the offensive end. .341 to go in the half. Lebanon lead by 7 and still have possession. An open three off the inbound pass is good for Amir Saoud. The lead back to 10. Kim Tae-sul. Crossover onto the right hand, across to Lee Jong-hyun. The foul called on Rodrigue Ackle.
There we see Saoud splashing the three. He looks so comfortable out there. He shot the three ball at 46% at the 2013 Asian Club Champs, so he's at home on the perimeter.
From the foul line, off the mark from Moon Tae-young.
There's something I really like about this Lebanon team. There's a lot of players we don't know a lot about at international level, but they've come here with a real spunk and a real aggression to take the game at their opponents.
Bounce pass once and then twice, back out to the perimeter to Ackle. Lovely ball movement, but he can't hit from the outside. Kim Tae-sul. Lee Jong-hyun, Kim Tae-sul again. Long two for him is good.
And a really smart re-screen there. Lebanon just not allowing the Korean guards to come off the on-ball screen to the middle. A quick exchange of passes to shift the defense and then straight into the ball screen, and the open shot results.
Ackle to Abdul Noor, looking to drive right down the heart of the defense and gets bumped along the way, and will go to the line for 2.
That's the second time tonight we've seen that miscommunication from the Korean defense on the ball screen. And these Lebanon guards, they don't need a second invitation to drive at the hoop.
Abdul Noor gets himself to the line. His first trip to the foul line here today. 9.3 points per game, 6.7 rebounds per game in round 1. Shot close to 50% from the field. 1 of 3 so far from the field here today, and hits his first attempt from the foul line. Lebanon have just been keeping Korea at arm's length for the entirety of this second quarter. Lead has always been around 7 to 10.
This is the sort of game that will please Lebanon. Korea is such a momentum team. They play in a flow, and at the moment they've been suffocated for most of the game.
Just haven't been able to properly get going yet. Cho Sung-min trying to get them in full flow. Chance to drive in for Lee Jong-hyun, and Moon Tae-young puts it up and puts it in.
And finally he gets his stroke going, and there's the rotating Lebanon defense again. He's got to make that shot to make them pay.
It's the kind of shot that you said he had to make. He'd missed his first 5 from the field before that one. Driving in now is Abdul Noor. Rebound grabbed by Lee Jong-hyun. Korea coming up court quickly now. Here's Moon Tae-young on the offensive end again. He'll have a chance to add a couple more from the line.
That's the second foul on Haidar. And they're not going to want him getting a third before half-time. I expect to see a substitution coming here. But again, we saw it. It was a really nice drive from John Abdul Noor. He picked the hole in the zone. He got all the way into the basket, but it was that missed shot. The guard not in position to guard the fast break, And now we have Korea at the line.
Moon Tae-young's first trip to the foul line. After hitting from the field not too long ago, having missed those first 5 shots. He's 37 now, playing at his first FIBA Asia Championships. Led the team in scoring in many of their warm-up games, but struggled in game 1 here at the championships before responding.
And of course, his brother Moon Tae-jung was a long-time import or naturalised player for the Korean team, and he stepped in his place for this tournament.
Youngblood back in the game, dishing out a wonderful assist. It's a lovely move off the baseline from Saud.
And we talk about the multiple skills of Youngblood. We've seen it. He's shot from the perimeter, he's got to the rim, he's got steals, and there a pinpoint pass.
Moon Tae-young looking to get to the baseline himself, over to the far corner. Cho looking to attack, knocked away, might have come off his foot, and it should leave a simple 2 for Saud, and Lebanon have their 10-point lead back. They continue to keep Korea at bay. And we're going to have a timeout with 1 minute and 5 seconds remaining in the half. Every time it looks like Korea might close the gap, Lebanon burst back into a double-digit lead.
And we saw a similar thing happen with the game between Kazakhstan and Chinese Taipei. Kazakhstan came out with a plan to slow the game and to make Chinese Taipei play some slow half-court basketball, and Lebanon have done the same here. Their defense, for the most part, has been outstanding. They've rotated to help, they've got hands in the passing lanes, and it seems whenever they force a steal or a bad shot, they're pushing the ball hard in transition and getting the dividends from it.
Look at Korea's team leaders. The 8 points so far of Lee Jong-kyun leading the way, 4 of 5 from the field. And they've had 7 from Lee Song-hyung. But you look at the key players, Cho Sung-min has only taken 3 shots, hit 2 of them for 5 points, and Yang Dong-gwen 0 of 4 from the field without a point yet.
Yeah, like I said in the pre-game, with his form being so good, it was just a matter of time until a team really keyed in on him. He's had a couple of tough shots. He had a couple of good looks with it, which he missed, but I think he needs to keep being aggressive, because I don't know that there's the other playmaking options on this Korean team that can deliver what he can.
Kim Tae-sol to Moon Tae-young. Final minute of the first half here, getting towards the foul line. That one good for Lee Sung-kyun.
And that time we see some playmaking from Moon, and if you're not hitting your jump shot, use the screen, create a shot for somebody else.
Leading scorer for Korea now with 9 points. Youngblood taking his time, final 10 seconds of the shot clock. Lebanon slowing it down again. Now just 3 to shoot. Youngblood going to drive towards the baseline, was looking for one of those bounce passes again, this time off the mark for Abi Keres.
And that time we saw 2 Koreans rotating on help, filling up the paint, closing down the passing lane and forcing a turnover. And I think too often so far tonight, there's been one player on help who's just been backpedaling and trying to stop the attacking Lebanon attacker.
Lee Sung-hyun moved on to Moon Tae-young. Final seconds of the half now. Almost pinched, and it is pinched by Abi Keres. They've still got 4 seconds to come down court here. Abdel Noor, and there's a foul with just 1 second remaining in the half.
We'll call that a smart foul because the referee has said that's non-shooting, but that could almost have become a 3-point play. Maybe a little bit lucky there.
Cho picks up his second for tangling up Abdel Noor. And there'll be a timeout with the 1 second to play, as Lebanon look to try and come up with something to take that double-digit lead into the half.
We see 7 Lebanon players on the scoreboard. They've all scored at least 4. We've got 3 players on 7, so it's been a real team effort at both ends of the floor from Lebanon so far.
And we see their leaders there. Haidar highlighted, but there's 3 on 7, as you say. Bauji has 7 as well. Saud has 7 too. And those 8 rebounds for Mohamed Ali Haidar as well. It's been a standout performance from him in the first half. And they've got 5 points, 2 steals and 2 assists from Jay Youngblood. And they've been impressive.
Yeah, I've liked the look of Amir Saoud. You know, he's one of the backup guards. He's come in, he hasn't tried to do too much. He's waited in his spot on the offense, catch and shoot. Defensively, he's been aggressive. He's been putting a lot of pressure on the Korean guards. And we often talk about the star players coming into games like this, but when you have role players coming off the bench, just doing what they're capable of and doing what the team needs, it makes a big difference.
Let's see what they can come up with in the final second of the first half off the back of this timeout.
It sounds like Lebanon have called a second timeout. Obviously, you can't bank your first half timeouts into the second half, so they're taking this extra time to draw up a play with just 1 second left on the clock.
The coaching staff wanting to make sure that everybody knows what they're doing here. Just 1 second to get a good look, to get a shot away.
And under the rules, 0.3 of a second is deemed long enough. That's the minimum amount of time you need to catch and shoot. So 1 second, yeah, there may be time for one pass or one dribble, but it's really got to be immediate. You know, look for someone spreading to the corner and then the person who screens for him diving to the basket to try and get that look underneath.
Certainly giving it every possible chance that they can give it to try and engineer something in the final second.
A play they ran earlier in the tournament in this situation was Haidar stepping back for a three-point shot after he set a screen. So let's see if they go to that one.
Arakji to inbound. It's Youngblood, quick catch and shoot. The three, banks it in at the buzzer with just a second remaining after the timeout. Jay Youngblood caps a superb half for Lebanon and gives them a double-digit lead heading into the break.
There wasn't a lot of science in the play, but it doesn't really matter when the ball drops through the hole. What a finish from Youngblood.
Do you need 2 timeouts to say you catch it and shoot a 3?
Well, you can't argue because 3 points on the board. They lead by 11. It's been an outstanding first half, and the Lebanon team should be happy.
And Jay Youngblood has 8 points now to lead Lebanon in scoring. 3 of 6 from the field, as well as those 2 assists and 2 steals. Very impressive in the first half. They lead Korea by 11, 43-32.
And it just seems like Lebanon making every post a winner so far today, and that is exemplified by that last play. Youngblood set the standard. We saw him get a steal on the second possession, up and in on his opponent for Korea, and then getting out on the fast break and finishing. And look at those 2-point numbers, 60% from inside for Lebanon. They've scored 15 baskets already inside the arc, and Korea need to make some adjustments. We saw them in man-to-man, we saw them switch into zone, but it doesn't really matter which one of those you're playing unless you're playing with intensity. And I think the other key too is that they need to be a little bit more unpredictable defensively, because at the moment Lebanon able to run through their sets, they're able to read and react. Korea need to make them do some things they're not comfortable with.
Look at the leaders there, and Youngblood now the leading scorer for Lebanon. Haidar has 7 points as well as the 8 rebounds. And there's the leading scorers for Korea, 9 points for Lee Sung-yun. He's the leading scorer in the game, 8 for Lee Jong-hyun. We talk a lot about their outside shooting. Cho Sung-min, one of their main weapons from downtown, he's 1 of 2, just 5 points. And Yang Dong-gwen has only taken 1 3-pointer and missed it. As a team, they're averaging just 1 a quarter, 2 of 9 from 3-point range.
Yeah, and Lebanon have done a great job of switching screens and forcing them off the 3-point line. And you see a couple of mistakes there in the highlights, but there weren't too many of them throughout the half for Lebanon. We see the physical play from Haidar. He really set the standard today, as did this man, Youngblood. And how about that feed? You know, Abi Keris came off the bench and he made an immediate impact, and this guy's an excitement machine. He's the Lebanon's version of Goran Dragic, and none more so on that play.
Abi Keris just 6.5 minutes a game over the first 3 games. He's already played 10 minutes here, got 6 points. Moon Tae-young missed his first 5 shots before hitting 1. And Korea need others to step up here.
And that play exemplifies it as well. The hand in from Saoud. He's been outstanding, and then he gets down the floor quickly and finishes the job.
Lebanon very impressive, showing their muscle in the first half here, leading Korea by 11, thanks to the buzzer-beating 3 at the end of the half from Jay Youngblood. at half-time. Korea 32, Lebanon 43. Join us for the second half in around 10 minutes' time.
女同学们，在荧光的现在比赛的同时呢，请大家将目光投向您背后的座椅靠背。那么在您的座椅靠背上呢，可以扫描上面贴着 FIBA 国际篮联的官方微博以及微信的二维码，关注FIBA国际篮联以及FIBA 国际篮联的官方微博以及微信，有机会可以领取到以特局提供的精美奖品，同时还有更多赛事资讯可以在平台当中获取。 允许他们光跟队长来看双方下半场的精彩比赛。
Welcome back to Chongsha, where Lebanon have put in another very impressive performance here against Korea over the course of the first half. Although Korea still very much within touching distance, down by 11. Lebanon 43, Korea 32, as we get ready to start the second half. And Jay Youngblood there, the number 14. As we see, Yao is in the house.
He certainly is, and when he's in the house, he's the most popular man in the building wherever he goes in China. It was a defensive masterstroke from Lebanon in the first half. They kept Yang Dong-Guen to 0 of 4, Moon Tae-young to 1 of 6. Let's see if those two can break out in the second half.
Korea starting with the ball and looking to make it single digits again. Moved on really swiftly, lovely ball movement. They will go to the line with Kim Jong-kyu.
And it's been the big men for Korea who have been able to make the most of their opportunities with, we see a lovely left-hand feed there inside and good rotation from Youngblood to stop that being an easy two-pointer.
Kim Jong-kyu out the line for the first time here today. Korea 5 of 5 from the foul line as a team. And if they're to edge closer to Lebanon, they may just have to make their foul shots. Make it 6 of 6.
We'll see if there's any change in approach from Korea defensively. They were a little too passive for my liking in the first half. They've got to force some mistakes from Lebanon.
Arakji.
Look at that, up and in.
Abdul Noor able to shake off the attentions of the diligent defense for now, trying to find a pass in a very congested area put in by Haidar.
We saw Abdul Noor at the start of the game being aggressive, and he steps up on the first play of the second half there.
Haidar has 9 points, knocked away from behind. And out of bounds off Youngblood, who's called for a foul.
And Lebanon offensively, they've been so controlled off that high ball screen. And none of their opponents, except for Qatar in the second half, have really found an answer for it.
Here's Yang, scoreless in the first half, 0 of 4 from the field. Cho, shot clock down to 5 now as they move it in towards the paint to Lee Sung-hyun. Back out to the perimeter, and they weren't aware the shot clock was running out. An apologetic hand raised by Yang. It's just not come together for him.
It hasn't, and Cho had half an opening there. He was 2 of 3 in the first half, so he's shooting the ball well. He's got to be more aggressive than 3 field goal attempts.
Yang's had a couple of days rest, didn't play in game 3 after 17 points and 24 points in the first 2 games.
2-3 zone.
And Korea able to come away with it. And Yang will finally get going. And that's what Korea needed. And that's what he needed.
And as we said in the first half, it doesn't matter if you're playing a zone or a man-to-man. It's got to be aggressive and disruptive. And that time, Yang reading the pass, creating the score.
Finally off the mark after missing his first 4 shots. Arakji onto Abdul Noor. Arakji looking to get away towards the foul line. Across over to the near side again. Here's the impressive Haidara across to the far side. Youngblood looking to attack into the paint. Hangs it high over the defense, but can't hit. And Korea looking to come down court again. Back to back. Fast break baskets, transition baskets for Yang. Off the quarterback pass that time from Cho.
And aggressive defensive sets leading to layups, allowing Yang to use his speed in the open court.
Youngblood driving in from the far side. Bounce pass right into Baoji. Youngblood trapped, able to find a way out. Long 2 is too long. An offensive board grabbed by Baoji.
And Lebanon will keep the ball there, but how much more aggressive do Korea look? 2 players swarming the ball whenever they get the opportunity. Yang was millimeters away from pinching another steal there. And Haidar, who looked so comfortable in the settled offense in the first half, he rushed that shot.
Kim Jong-kyu's picked up foul number 3. Spin towards the baseline, trying to get away there was Arakji.
They've called a foul, defensive foul. And that's the balance they've got to find now. They're being aggressive, can't afford to get into foul trouble. 2 already after just over 2 minutes.
Youngblood moving it on into Haidar. Haidar, a strong move. They're trying to tip it towards the rim with Baoji, but Korea come away with it. Transition basketball again for them. Here's Yang once more. Forced to turn away this time, Cho. And Choi wide open for the 3, nails it. And Korea are closing the gap, down by just 4. And they force the timeout for Lebanon off the 3 from Choi Yun-yong after 4 quick-fire points from Yang Dong-gyen. 7 points off fast break basketball.
What a difference a break makes. Korea looked lost in the first half. They look like the trademark Korea as we see Yang streaking to the basket. We're back to a 4-point game.
A double-digit Lebanon lead has been cut down to just 4. Korea scoring 7 points in transition very quickly to cut the deficit here at the start of the second half. Youngblood looking to attack, drives into the lane and gets hit and will go to the line for 2.
And Lebanon looks so effective when they attack through the top of the keyway. You know, it's so hard without a true shot blocker, it's very hard for Korea to contain that. But when they've been able to force Korean penetration to the baseline, they've been able to disrupt their defense, force some errant passes and capitalize going the other way.
Jay Youngblood at the line, looking to add to his tally, and now becomes the first player in the game into double figures. Yang. Lee Sung-hyun. Lee Sung-hyun again. And Lee Jong-hyun exchanging passes, and Cho. Korea moving it around, not creating a look yet though. Down to the last couple of seconds of the shot clock, and a foul on Baoji.
And Baoji with a look of despair because that was an outstanding defensive set from Lebanon. They switched 3 or 4 screens and didn't allow that screening motion to open up any shots for the Koreans.
Nowhere for Korea to go, but they're given a bit of respite. Yang, a fresh 14 seconds to work with after the foul. Cho puts it up from the outside. Grabbed the rebound by Baoji. Youngblood through the legs, into the paint, back out to the outside. Haidar has it pinched by Cho. And Korea can come on the fast break again. And they can make Lebanon pay again as Choi puts it in. They're closing the gap even further.
And Lebanon had these issues in the third quarter against Qatar. When they're allowed to steady and run their offense, they've looked fantastic. But against this zone defense with a little bit more pressure, where they've been forced to ad-lib, they don't look so comfortable.
Youngblood across to Arakji, picked off, and here they come in transition again with Yang all the way to close the gap to 2. Lebanon feeling the Korean crunch.
And even on that defensive play, that was a read by Yang. He decided, I'm going to go on pressure here. It wasn't part of a plan beforehand. He's just playing natural basketball, and that's when Korea are looking at their best.
They backed off Arakji, and he made them pay. Yang. Now Cho, trying to free himself here, bounce past Lee Sung-hyun. And he got Lee Jong-hyun on the trail, but he couldn't finish. Midway point to the third, Lebanon lead by 4. Youngblood had an option in the corner, chose not to take it. Slows it down again. There's the screen as he moves towards the foul line and puts it in. Very composed play.
I tell you what, basketball's a simple game. Whether you're playing against a man or a zone, that high ball screen gets you into the heart of the defense, and that's tough to guard.
Yang can't hit that one. They're battling for the offensive board. Here's Yang again. This time goes for the pass. Across to Choi, who's started to hit in this second half. And hitting on that occasion, Lee Sung-kyun.
Dizzying ball movement that time from Korea, and that is their trademark. Just spitting the ball around until someone was open for the shot.
They've started to find real rhythm in their offense. Youngblood in towards the paint. There's the pirouette back out to the perimeter. Arakji, shot clock down to 5 as he looks to get towards the foul line again. Youngblood will put it up for 3 and knock it down. Jay Youngblood has 15.
And they're keeping them at arm's length at the moment, but if they're forced to keep making tough shots like that, Korea going to be pretty happy.
Yang, 6 points in 6 minutes in the third quarter, having failed to score in the first half. Here's Choi, gets away from 2 and rejected by Haidar, who's done a bit of everything. And here they come on the fast break. The pass as well from Arakji, leaving the simple finish for Abdul Noor. Coast to coast go Lebanon. Smiles back on their faces, and Korea forced to call time.
Dazzling play. We see the block from Haidar getting upstairs. And then Arakji away in transition. We talk about Yang in the open court, but I think we're going to be talking about Arakji on the fast break for a long time to come in Asian basketball.
4 assists now for Arakji, along with his 6 points, and Lebanon have moved back up by 9. Korea got within touching distance, and now Lebanon have started to build up a head of steam again, forcing Korea to call timeout.
And again, that came back to the steady offensive play of Lebanon. You know, they were rushed for 4 or 5 possessions in a row, which led to turnovers and bad shots, and Korean transition. We saw the steadier with Baoji just coming out and setting the high ball screen for Youngblood, and then the next time Arakji with the penetration, dishing to the open Youngblood. And it's so crucial for Lebanon that they play that composed style of basketball and keep the lid on Korea's speed.
Lebanon shooting 53% from the field at the moment. Korea shooting 45%. They still trail by 9. Youngblood has been composure personified for Lebanon with his 15 points. Korea had started to control the momentum, but Lebanon have turned the tide back in their favour for now. Lee Sung-kyun, Yang.
Stagnant offense.
Choi almost put it away by Youngblood. Korea get away with it, keep moving it on. Yang from the foul line, extra pass. Maybe he should have just put it up.
How about the rotations there from Lebanon? Just one after another rolling up. It looked like Korea would have an open shot. All of a sudden the Lebanon defender would close out, make him make the extra pass, and eventually it led to the turnover.
Jay Youngblood stepping in to the paint, finding the little pass to Arakji. Baoji trying to barge his way towards the basket.
3 seconds violation.
A 3-second violation on Basil Baoji.
And he's lucky because that 3-second violation saved him from an offensive foul. He just needed to go up strong. It was a beautiful pass from Arakji under the basket, but now Korea get a chance to close this margin.
Lee Jong-kyun. Across to Lee Sung-kyun. Into the paint, nice little dish pass back to Lee Jong-kyun, and Korea within 7. The 2 Lees into double figures now for Korea. So, across to Arakji. Here's Youngblood. Shot clock down to 5. They keep using the full extent of that shot clock, and the shot this time short from Abdul Noor. Korea can come in transition again, and there's a foul.
Strong drive to the basket, but if you looked at the other end offensively, you look in the white painted area at the high post, as we see going strong to the basket there, Cho, and they'll be pleased to see him getting involved and getting to the free throw line. But the white painted area at the top of the key, against a zone, that's the weak spot. And on that last possession, Lebanon only had 2 players in there, and they're only there for a fleeting amount of time. That's where they've got to be hitting the ball in, getting the zone to suck in, and from there they can shoot, they can drive, or they can kick to the perimeter shooters.
Kang Sang-jae into the game for Korea for the first time today. A 20-year-old who had 13 points and 4 boards in Game 3 against Singapore. Korea hitting from the foul line with Cho Sung-min. 5 of 7 from downtown in Game 1, en route to a game-high 19 points, then 14 against China. Although he didn't shoot too well in that game, before then not playing in Game 3. Korea are hitting their free throws, and they're staying within touching distance. Abdul Noor onto Akul. Across to Youngblood on the far side. Through the legs as he looks to attack. Got a hand in his face. Shot was short. Here comes Yang in transition again. Onto the left hand, just prodding and probing, waiting for some movement. It arrives in the form of Cho. There's the little handoff to the 20-year-old who tries to bank it in. And Kang can't get it to go. Wide open 3 for Lebanon, off the mark. The rebound grabbed by Yang. Quick bounce pass, the lovely ball fake from Choi, who puts it in.
Perfectly timed pass to his big man on the run.
Final minute of the third quarter coming up. Ball in the hands of Youngblood again. Korea within 3 as Youngblood puts it up and puts it in. He really is calmness personified.
And just the back line of the Korean zone there on the back foot. They weren't able to step up and contest that jump shot, and that's money for Youngblood from that distance.
Here's Kang again looking to attack. Into the key, back out to the far side to Choi. Defense was all over that one, but Choi grabs it back. Wide open 3. They get it to go to close the gap to 2 as Yang hits from the outside. 9 points in the quarter.
And that's his first wide open look since early in the first quarter, and he capitalized on it. What a ball game's building here.
Youngblood hands it off to Saud, and now a chance for Abdul Noor to attack. Back out to Akul. Behind the back, throws it into the hands of Yang, who can race away and will go all the way himself. And Korea, from double-digit deficit, tie the game.
Well, they say you can't keep a good thing down, and Yang Dong-guen, he's sprung back to life this quarter, and it's just those bad decisions. You saw there an attempted showtime pass behind the back. At this sort of stage of the game, you can't experiment with this sort of thing. It's not an all-star game, and Yang's been around too long to fall for that sort of trick.
And he has 11 points in the quarter after failing to score in the whole of the first half. And he started 0 of 4 from the field. He is now 5 of 6 in the quarter. And a travel called on Akul. So Korea might just get a chance to take the lead before the quarter's through.
It'll take something special from here. We saw Ma from Malaysia hit one from about three-quarter court.
He goes for it, and it's not far away. And we're level at 58 after 30 minutes of basketball. Lebanon had double-digit lead after double-digit lead, but Korea stuck around. And then in the third quarter, Yang Dong-guen came to play with 11 points. And at the end of 3, Korea 58, Lebanon 58.
Well, Yang Dong-guen came to play, but so did the Korean defense. They were active, they were up and in, they were forcing to the baseline and double teaming, they were getting into the passing lanes, and it was a marked change from the first half. Lebanon's zone offense was found wanting. On 2 occasions, they set a simple ball screen, got an open jump shot for Youngblood from about 18 feet. He made both of those shots, but there wasn't enough of those basics, and we see the turnovers now for Lebanon up to 12 after they only had 6 at halftime. And some of them have been forced, some of them unforced, like that ill-advised behind-the-back pass from Saud. And so they need to go back to the drawing board a little bit. They are successful when they attack through the top of the key. They've got to get their big men into that white painted area, setting screens and freeing up their guards.
That early turn up of the defensive pressure, the intensity from Korea, knocked Lebanon off their game, and then they started coming up with the unforced turnovers as well.
They did, and it makes such a difference to your half-court offense when you force a steal or a bad shot. Even if you don't get the layup, you are able to get into your offense so much earlier, and that makes the other team play 20 seconds of defense instead of 12 seconds of defense. And after a quarter or a half, it starts to build up, and we see it there with the mistake made. And Yang, he is the heart and soul. The last time he played against Lebanon at the FIBA Asia Championship, he had 20 points, 7 assists and 5 steals. And it didn't look like he's got 5 steals already today. We didn't think he was going to match those numbers, but with 10 minutes still to play, anything's possible for the Korean superstar.
Start of the fourth quarter, Korea and Lebanon level at 58 in a pivotal game at the start of the second round of the 2015 FIBA Asia Championships. The winner will go to 2-1 in the group, the loser to 1-2. And Korea come up with a steal right at the start of the fourth quarter, looking to pick up right where they left off, and Yang is certainly doing that. 13 points in the space of just over 10 minutes in the second half for him.
A circus shot from Yang. He skied, he took the contact, he finished with the left hand.
Knocked away again, and Korea coming forward with Yang once more, waiting for options to arrive, and this time they'll earn them from the line.
And how about that patience from Yang that time after the steal? He could have taken it up against the bigger opponents. He probably would have got swatted. So he waits for the cavalry to arrive. And draw the foul, go to the free throw line.
He's on course for a double-double, 13 points and 7 steals.
He's a special player. Look at this move. At high speed, he changes direction and finishes with his offhand.
No doubt that Yang Dong-yen has been the spark, and Lebanon have had to call timeout just 41 seconds into the fourth quarter, having been up by as many as 11 points. They now trail, and Korea have a chance to extend their 2-point advantage from the line.
And Jay Youngblood with 17 points, he hasn't had enough help and he hasn't had enough opportunities. But on their last offensive set, got the ball to the high post, draw the defense, got Arachi a driving lane into the key. He had an open pull-up jump shot, but for some reason, he wasn't comfortable to take it, tried to force the pass, and we get another Korean steal. And their defense has been something to talk about in this second half. They're now up to 9 steals. At half-time, they had just 2 steals.
And Yang has 7. Tremendous performance from the Korean number 6, along with those 13 points, all of which have come in the second half. And Jay Youngblood, the leading scorer in the game, still with 17 of 6 of 11 shooting, but the only Lebanon player in double figures. Korea have 3, Lee Jong-hyun and Lee Sung-hyun, with 10 and 11 respectively, along with the 13 of Yang Dong-yen. And it's Lee Jong-hyun, the 21-year-old centre at the line. Able to get the first drop down. 5 of 7 from the field. This is his first trip to the foul line. He's had a very efficient performance at these Asia Championships, but he misses the second from the foul line. Commentators curse. Korea lead by 3. Youngblood across to the far side to Abdul Noor, gets it back again. Going to drive around the screen of Haidar over to that far side once more. Moved on to the corner, Youngblood takes the 3 and misses the 3, and here comes Yang in transition again. Full of energy, but knocked away this time by Saud. And now the 4-on-2, Youngblood will put it in for the easy deuce.
And we talk about it all the time. If you have an open court opportunity and you blow it, you're probably going to give 2 points up at the other end.
Choi. Kang Choi again, he's going to shoot the three straight away. Nothing but net for Choi from a couple of feet beyond the arc.
And Korea have struggled to get good three-point looks in the half-court set, but that was a high arcing rainbow.
Picked off here by Choi, and Lebanon just can't really get it together. Bounce pass through looking for Kang, and a turnover at the other end as well. Only a 4-point game with 8 minutes to play, and there's a foul here on Lee Jung-hyun.
And an intentional foul there. It was almost as if he felt he was out of position, and Korea are now all about slowing Lebanon down. You know, Lebanon came into this building with the plan that they were going to slow Korea down. It worked for a half, but all of a sudden their offensive struggles have opened the back door for Korea, and now it's Lebanon struggling to generate any sort of pace.
Abdul Noor with the long two. It was a beautiful arc, but it was wide of the basket.
Yeah, and it was good execution. It's the sort of shot they want to get. I think one thing the Lebanon perimeter players can do better is when they get past that first line of the zone, they need to attack the Korean big men harder. You know, there's not a true shot blocker in this lineup for Korea, and yet they're being intimidated into throwing contested passes or shooting pull-up jump shots. Sometimes you just got to go in there and test out the big men.
Korea looking in control at the moment, but it's only a 4-point ball game. Yang on to Choi. Choi now into double figures with 10, 4 in double figures for Korea. Kang, now Cho. Yang's going to put up the three-pointer and knocks it down with unerring accuracy. Nothing but net for Yang, 16 second half points.
We talked about the defensive masterclass of Lebanon in the first half, keeping Yang to 0 of 4 and no points. Well, it's Yang giving the lessons here in the second half.
And the turnover from Youngblood. Korea have their largest lead of the game at 7. In towards Kang now, who's going to go to work, rejected by Abdul Noor. Youngblood with the turnover on the last possession. This time moves it on to Suaid, and now Saud. Suaid again. Youngblood. Suaid's going to look to drive and put it up from the foul line, wide of the basket again.
And again, intimidated by that second line of the Korean defense. Just need a little hesitation dribble and then get around him and go for the quick layup.
Yang. Choi. Kang creating the space. Choi feeding the ball in to Lee Jung-hyun, who puts it in. Korea lead by 9, and there is no choice for Lebanon but to call timeout.
And if Lebanon want a lesson on how to run a zone offense, they only need to look at the other end of the court. Korea picking apart the defense. And while we talk about their guards so often, every opportunity they've got, their big men have been swarming around the basket, ready to catch and finish. And it's going to be tough for Lebanon from here.
Lee Jung-hyun, 6 of 8 from the field now for 13 points. We take a look at the Lebanon foul trouble. Baoji on 3, the only one with any real concern at this point. But Yang Dong-yen has been the star performer in the second half with 16 points for Korea. 7 of 12 from the field, but in the second half, 7 of 8 from the field.
Yeah, it's been remarkable, and you know, we mention it so often, but offense comes from your defense. If you're passive on defense, you end up walking the ball down the court and being passive on offense, and they've been quite the opposite. And it's this man, Yang Dong-gun, his aggression, his speed, his anticipation. You know, he looks so quick because he reads the game much quicker than any other player, and he's in position before his opponent. And then he steps outside as well and gets the job done.
Tremendous performance from the Korean number 6, 16 points. Youngblood, the Lebanon number 14, still the leading scorer in the game with 19. He will need to really step up now in this fourth quarter and keep doing what he has been doing for the final 6 minutes. They've not scored in almost 3 minutes, Lebanon.
The beauty of basketball, though, is they're only 3 possessions out of this game. If they can get a score here, they can turn the momentum a little bit, and then their defense needs to get the job turning the screws on Korea.
Suede going to shoot the three. Offensive rebound, Abdel Noor. A fresh 14 to work with.
4 guards on the court here for Lebanon.
Suede high off the glass, can't finish. Korea trying to pull in the rebound. It's still going to be Lebanon ball.
He didn't finish that shot, but I like the aggression taking it to the basket. With 4 guards on the court, though, Lebanon aren't going to be able to capitalise on those offensive rebounding opportunities.
They need to end this drought now. It's lasted for 3 minutes. Keres throws it over the top of Abdel Noor, and guess who is in on the fast break? Yang racing in and finishing, now has 18 points and 8 of 9 in the second half. And Youngblood down the other end with a chance at a three-point play to answer back and to let Korea know that this game is far from over.
And if I was the Lebanon coach, I'd be running every play for this man to get a drive at the basket. Look at the body control on that drive, and then the finish with the offhand.
Youngblood well short on the free throw, but they're able to gather it. And then the attempt missed by Bauji.
Big block there from Choi. That was a certain 2 points.
Midway point to the fourth, Korea lead by 9. Having been down by as many as 11. Yang. On to Cho, who's going to put up the three. Gets it to rattle round and drop. Cho and Yang with their three-point shooting have really started to light this one up.
Well, they talk about quality over quantity. It's been exactly that from Cho tonight. That's his second three-point basket, but it came at an opportune time.
And 5 now into double figures for Korea as Cho hits 10 points. Youngblood. They'll shoot a long three, Lebanon, and knock it down from way beyond the setting sun.
And Amir Saud again, he has stepped up a number of occasions, and I'd love to see him in a spot-up position, Youngblood with the ball, and make the Korean defense choose. Do they go to the penetrator or do they go to the shooter?
Yang, an 18-point second half. This time he's looking for an assist to Cho. Back-to-back threes for Cho. It's Korean cruise control in Chongsha.
But Yang is the driver. He's got his hands on the controls. That time he splits the screen, finds the shooter. And Korea with all the answers at this stage.
They have really found their range. And now 8 of 16 from downtown. Youngblood. Abdel Noor from mid-range. Grabbed by Choi. The lead is 12 and Korea are looking to extend it here with Yang and Choi. Yang will slow it down. Choi looking to drive in. Over to Cho. Can't squeeze the pass through this time, but it's still Korea ball.
Substitution for Lebanon.
Yang to inbound, 7 seconds to shoot. Quick bounce pass. And they can't take advantage of it. Quick move from Saud, and then the pass moved on, and they blow an opportunity to close the gap.
You just can't afford to squander opportunities like that. For once they pass their way through the zone, they create an open layup, but an opportunity wasted.
Yang now just slowing it down, running it till the final 5 seconds of the shot clock before Cho gets free. Can't hit that time, would have been 3 in a row. Korea just 2 of 9 from three-point range in the first half, 6 of 8 now in the second.
And you add to that, they had 2 fast break points at halftime. They're now up to 20.
Cho to inbound. Quick catch and shoot. A little bit too long from Lee Sung-hyun. Final 3 minutes, Korea lead by 12. Nice fast move again, but another miss close to the basket, this time from Saud.
And Lebanon just out of ideas and out of confidence. And you see with every miss, the shoulders drop a little bit more. You hear the groan from the crowd. And they just can't figure out how things have gone so wrong after such a good first half. But I guess in the pre-game, we said the question mark over Lebanon. They're an exciting young team, but their playmakers are inexperienced. And when they've faced a zone that they're not used to, they haven't been able to come up with the answers out on the court. There's only so much the coach can do in the timeout.
Yang this time with the pass, got completely free under the basket to finish. Lee Sung-hyun now has 13. And Yang has 5 assists as well. The 3 knocked down from Saud to give Lebanon a lifeline. There's the quick pass from Yang, and Cho will just put it in for the easy 2.
Another assist for Yang. He didn't have one in the first half. He's up to 6. It's one that he'll put in his personal highlight reel, I think, this second half.
Lebanon looking to the corner, to Arakji, and a foul on Yang. 18 points, 6 assists, and 8 steals for Yang. And all of those points and all of those assists in the second half. Timeout call with 1 minute and 45 seconds to play. Korea leading by 13, 81 to 68.
Teams have come back from this margin in this amount of time before. You know, basketball is an incredibly unpredictable sport. But Lebanon are going to have to take some risks to do it. They're going to have to get up the floor defensively. It's been surprising to me that they haven't done that already. You know, when things are going wrong, the first thing you have to do is change something up. Because when the opposition team gets into a flow, it's very hard to stop. So I think they need to get up the floor, take some risks, see if Korea will fold under the pressure and make some bad decisions. And then they get the opportunity to capitalise in the open court. But everything is going to have to go right for them to get back into this ball game.
Youngblood's still the leading scorer with 21, but he hasn't added too many to that tally. Just 4 points in the fourth quarter. Eight of 14 from the field through the game for 21, but it looks as though Lebanon and Jae Youngblood are just going to come up short in this one. They need a dramatic turnaround. They need a score here, really. It's knocked away and out of bounds, and still Lebanon ball.
And a falcon to the head of Yang there, anticipating the pass and getting up so quickly that it struck him right on the bridge of the nose. That's the only way they've been able to stop him this second half. There's Ahmad Ibrahim. He's been sorely missed in the second half. His ability to create a shot out of nothing.
They need something out of nothing right here, Lebanon. And it goes towards Baoji. Shot clock's down to 2, down to 1. Gets it off, the miss, but they do get the offensive board. Just got it away in time. Saud gonna shoot the 3, can't hit.
I think Lebanon are officially out of ideas. They got that offensive rebound. No direction on the court, just a quick chuck-up shot from Saud. And I think Korea are going to close this one out.
Approaching the final minute as Cho feeds it into Lee Sung-hyun. Moved on by Lee Jong-hyun. That one off the mark. Lebanon running out of time though as Saud comes up court. Driving away from Yang. Basket won't count. It's a foul on Yang.
I think Lebanon would have preferred the referee to hold his whistle there because it was a sweet crossover from Saud. He got all the way to the rim and finished. But now he's got to get those 2 from the free throw line.
2 shots.
Saud, the only other Lebanon player in double figures. 13 points today, 5 of 10 from the field. And he misses the first from the foul line. Lebanon about to fall to 1 and 2 in the second round group. 2 more games to play. They would need to win at least one of those. Yang, star of the show in the second half. Now Choi, taking as much time off the clock as possible. Able to squeeze it through. There's a free player under the hoop, but closed down quickly by Suede. Baoji does well to beat 2 of them and going high off the glass. There's the quarterback pass with the foul as Lee Jong-hyun puts it in to put the exclamation mark on the win for Korea.
And guess who? Guess who threw the pass? I don't know what Korean is for Mighty Mouse, but he has been sensational today, and he caps it off with a length of the court assist.
18 points and 7 assists, all in the second half for Yang, as well as 8 steals. It has been a tremendous performance. And this man at the line has done pretty well too. 15 points in the game, 7 of 10 shooting. Can't hit from the foul line. He does have 3 block shots as well, Lee Jong-hyun. 3 off the mark as Yang grabs it and feeds it forward. And there'll be another one as Lee Jong-hyun puts it in again. That's the double exclamation mark.
What a contrast. Lebanon with so much energy in the first half defensively. They were on the front foot, and the way things swung at halftime was remarkable.
And Korea win this pivotal second round matchup to move to 2 and 1 behind a superstar second half from Yang Dong-yen. 18 points, 8 steals, 7 assists. All of those steals, all of those points and assists coming in the second half from Yang. 8 of 13 from the field. They also had 17 points from Lee Jong-hyun, who finished 8 of 11 from the field with 3 block shots. 5 players in double figures, the 15 for Cho Sun-min, 13 for Lee Song-hyun, and 10 for Choi Jung-yong. A tremendous second half performance from Korea. From double-digit deficit, they have got back to win it by 14, 85-71.
Well, what a privilege it was to be here in this second half and see that performance from Yang Dong-guen. He's 34 years of age. He's been the Rock of Gibraltar for Korean basketball for so long now. Who knows whether he'll be back for another FIBA Asia Championship, but get along to the stadium, tune into your television, watch him play because he's in rare form, and he nearly picked up a triple-double after halftime. It was an extraordinary performance. You see there 18 points and 8 assists to go with his steals, 8 steals as well, and I guess in all that is lost the performance of Jay Youngblood, 21 points. In the end, he was a lone hand for Lebanon. They finished with 21. He had 3 assists as well, 2 steals himself, but in the end, he just didn't have enough help.
A very efficient 21 points for Jay Youngblood as well, 8 of 14 from the field, but Lebanon falling short by some distance in the end, losing by 14. Having led by as many as 11, a 25-point turnaround for Korea. Lebanon was showing their muscles in the first half, but Korean head coach Kim Dong-kwang got into his team at the half, and Yang stepped up to the plate. 8 of 13 from the field, missed his first 4 shots in the first half, so finished the game 8 of 9 in the second half. 18 points, all coming after half-time, as well as the 8 assists and 8 steals. A tremendous display from him and from Korea.
He had 6 rebounds as well to go along with that. And have a look at here. You look at the intensity he plays with. You can just tell how much playing for Korea means to him. And as you get further on in your career, you understand more and more that those opportunities won't come around too many more times.
Korea moved to 2 and 1, and they win it by 14.
تلعب مع اضعف.
تلعب مع
اذا
أضعف.
طلعت بس ربحت جيم تلعب ضد ايران
أوه.
كوارتر فاينل.
احنا يعني المفروض على الهواء، بس يتصلوا علينا ان شاء الله تليفون من الدوحه عشان نطلع على طول ان شاء الله. Paul, we have one or two? One. Only post match.
Just a post and then that's
Okay.
it.
Okay. اوكي شباب سامعيني ها؟ على الاستوديو ولا وين على الاخبار؟ مع اسيا برضو ولا مع مين؟